Hello, YouTube.
That was a horrible introduction. Tops 85 401 here.
Titanic taters, right here.
So tonight, or this afternoon or this morning, whenever the heck you're watching this video, we're going to talk about peak value on cards.
Yes.
And just, you know, where the market goes with peak value and the trends that we've noticed in the last, 30 years of collecting? Yeah, about 30 years or so of collecting.
98, 2008, 2018. 38.
Yeah, 30 years or so. 30 years of collecting. So we'll share some of what we've learned from collecting over the last 30 years. Yes. So, to start, I've been getting a lot of emails or PMs or whatever you want to call it, people asking me, is now a good time to buy Aaron Judge? Is now a good time to buy Cody Bellinger? What do you think, Nate?
No.
All right, well, that's okay. I agree with him. And the reason why is because you see it every year. Every year, whoever the hot player is, it's going to hold a premium value because that's where everybody is directing their purchases towards.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like, and then there's going to be players that are, like, future Hall of Fame players, and will they even sustain their value at a peak? And the answer to that is...
No.
And an example of a player like that would be Mike Trout. Eric and I we discuss it, and we both feel that Mike Trout's cards right now are at a peak. And I would have said that, man, they got to be at a peak right now. And the reason why is there's a big inflection of, is that the right word, inflection?
Inflection?
Yeah.
Influx?
Yeah, whatever. A big influx of new players coming into the league, and that would be what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
I would say, for the most part, Aaron Judge is the main guy, but Bellinger's kind of starting to sneak in there. And
Mike Trout is kind of an anomaly where he's had this really long, extended period of being at a peak value. Kind of the reason that I look at it as peak is even if you just take his 2011 Topps update, it's kind of pretty steady, like $100, $115, $120. That's what it's selling for on eBay in its raw form. And it's been that way for a long time.
No, that card's selling for $300.
No, not his base. His base card?
Yeah.
Maybe in like a 9.9 or 9.5.
I'm talking about
10.
a 10. Yeah.
But his raw card.
Oh, the raw?
Yeah, $100 to $125.
Really?
Somewhere in that range.
Okay.
And sometimes even below that. Sometimes like 90. But that's about where his value is, and that's how I kind of look at it. It's not going up. I mean, Nate, you bought that card for $30.
No, I bought it for
right?
$50. The Diamond Anniversary one for $50. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
That's a $600, $700 card now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yes, he is at his peak because...
We've been taking way too many takes of this video tonight. I think we're getting bored of it.
He is at his peak for two reasons. He's as popular as he's going to get. And he is in a modern era. I just don't think that a modern card is going to sell for 5, 10, 20 times what you paid for it today in 20 years.
Well, no, that's not going to happen.
Right? So then that has to mean this is his peak value.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, because people are going to always focus the money. There's only so much money that's in the hobby. Economically, there's only so much money that's going to be circulated throughout the hobby. And players like Aaron Judge, that's where all the money is going. Like people that want the hottest, greatest new thing, or at least the hottest, greatest new players. It's good. That money, because there's always like what do you think? Maybe 25% of the money in the hobby is what's hot, and then the 75% is pretty much. I don't know. That would be an interesting economic.
Dude, it might even be more than that.
But maybe 50% of the money in the hobby is what's hot. I don't know.
Potentially.
That would be kind of an interesting thesis to do for college
like
project,
to determine
but I'm not in
how
college,
much of it is
so.
like people just with their PC collections and buying like Hall of Famers
like
and stuff
with me
like
and
that.
my bonds collection, right? Like I'm focused on bonds. It doesn't matter how old the card is. I don't want that
exactly.
bonds card.
And then how many people are like, I need Mike Trout, I need Aaron Judge, I need Cody Bellinger.
Like for example, you give every collector out there $100. Where are they going to spend that $100 right now? And it sounds like you think 50% of them will go towards Aaron Judge. I think 25%.
I'm talking on my ass with that. I don't even know, man. It could be.
You're looking at me like,
it could be 100%. It could be. I mean, I guess it depends. Like if you're a Yankee fan, it could all be Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
You know, if you're,
Dodger.
If you're just a overall baseball fan, who knows where it could go?
Yeah, I would say the average baseball fan still might focus towards the greatest player that's playing Major League Baseball right now.
I mean, it might be a mixture of like, I
Trout.
can buy some Mike Trout, I can buy some Aaron Judge, I can buy some Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, sneaking a little Kershaw over here.
Sneaking a little Kershaw.
Yeah. Or are they going to go Mickey Mantle or like my boy Barry Bonds? Who knows? I don't know. We're rambling.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway,
we're like on our fourth take of this thing. And
that's because this freaking phone keeps cutting out in the middle of us. Like,
dude, we could have used
tripping
your phone, but I'm having problems uploading.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it'll load on my Tops 85 401 channel.
There you go. But yeah, so peak value, like guys like Mike Trout, he's at his peak. Aaron Judge.
It'll go up. Aaron Judge.
Though.
Aaron Judge will go up until the Yankees are eliminated, or if they win the World Series, then his peak value right now will be opening day 2018.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you, his 2018 season, there's absolutely no way he's going to start as well as he started the 2017 season. The league will adjust to him. At some point,
definitely, and I think I agree kind of with the timeline here. I think it's going to continue to rise because there's an inherent investor percentage in his cards going up because they're buying his cards. I think you're going to see them go up, and then depending on when he wins if he wins Rookie of the Year, which I think he will. MVP.
He will.
Which I think he will.
If he continues to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
I think that's where you're going to see the real spike.
Yeah.
And those are going to be those investors dumping all the cards that they've purchased of him.
Yeah. Well, imagine if the Yankees win the World Series and Aaron Judge is a fucking stud through playoffs. His shit could double in value this year. So we're saying don't buy his cards. Don't buy his cards if you plan on
collecting them,
selling them 5 years from now, is what we're saying. But if you want to buy them now and hope that Judge tears it up and then the Yankees win the World Series, now is a really good time to buy them.
Yeah, definitely.
So it just depends. But like the reason why I don't think he is a good long-term buy is because one, he's 25 years old, so he's coming in the league about 3 years past the age where you want to see not an MVP, but a Hall of Fame career start. 22 is about the oldest you want to come into the league to make the Hall of Fame because you figure that would be an 18-year career, right, if you retire at 40, if you come in at 22.
Yeah.
Okay, the other problem with Aaron Judge is he's 6'8", 280 pounds. I don't know of any Major League ball player that can be productive for more, really prime productive for more than 12 years at 280 pounds. I think that's unprecedented size.
Hey, if Pablo Sandoval couldn't do it.
Well, like Frank Thomas, right? Frank Thomas.
He's an anomaly.
Yeah, he did it for 12 years. He was real productive. It's just... you do not see guys that big sustain a long career. 12 years... So if he's 25, that means from now till 37 years old. And then Judge will be done by the time he's 37.
It's just the odds of having a long career are against you anyway in the MLB. And then you add in his size, which is going to be
He's going to wear it down.
Yeah, it's going to be weighted more towards him getting injured in his career, from his sheer size. Then you add on, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Is he going to hit, 400, 500 home runs?
I could see Judge getting a 400.
it's hard to say.
Man, coming in at 25 years old at that size, I don't know if he can get to 500.
I don't know. It'll be
at 400, who knows? I could see him at I mean, like, remember Cecil Fielder? I mean, that guy, man, boom, real great. He only lasted like 5 or 6 years. They called him Big Daddy.
But he played like 5 years in Japan or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
so
he came up in '86
for Aaron Judge. We haven't quite hit it yet, and that's probably going to be more towards the end of the year.
We'll see how it pans out for the Yankees,
and when the awards come out for MVP, Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm. And then look what happened to Chris Bryant last year.
Yeah, Chris Bryant. He had a huge year, MVP, won the Rookie of the Year the year before, World Series victory. So right about that time and through the offseason and even the beginning of this year, his cards were at a peak value.
Yeah, I mean, now you can pick this shit up for probably what you think, 70% of what it was at the peak.
Maybe less.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a buyer's market on Chris Bryant.
Like literally last month in May, because the season starts beginning of April, right? Mm-hmm. So in May, I listed a Chris Bryant rookie, a great 9.5 pink refractor 2015 tops. Listed it for $300 or $275 on eBay, right? The month before, like actually 2 weeks before, it had sold for over $300. At $275, I had listed it twice over a 2-week period and it did not sell.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you an idea.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's definitely, it went from a buyer's market to a seller's market in the matter of, what, a month?
Well, it went from a seller's market,
seller's market
2
to
weeks,
3
weeks.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. And
man,
that gives you an idea of how quick the hobby can change.
Man, this is a fast-paced hobby now, I'll tell you that.
I mean, with internet and all that, yeah. I mean, I still remember when you had to go to the baseball card shop to buy baseball cards.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want...
or to get a value.
Well, you know what was funny is, like, back in the 80s, like, when you see a card listed for, like, $1 or $5 or $10, that's what it sold for at the card shop. And I think it's because there was no internet, and you couldn't find every card you wanted every time you went to the card shop.
Yeah.
So when you did find a card you want, you just bought it. And at book value.
Example of this is, we were kind of talking about it earlier, the 2017 Topps, it's the 87 silver pack, Aaron Judge. I think it books for like $8, but it's selling for over 20.
Well, Beckett is...
But that's just a good example of how much the hobby has changed.
Yeah.
Beckett book means nothing anymore.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant to the hobby.
Yeah.
It's almost pointless.
Yeah,
don't just go through eBay. What's this card worth? What's this card worth?
Yeah, well, I mean, eBay is one of the indicators, but like high-grade vintage, you can't really go off of eBay because that usually goes through like big auction houses, but that's a whole nother video. Yeah.
So anyway, so peak value for Mike Trout is now...
Well, you know why I know it's now? Because even like you look at Ken... I mean, we're talking about rookie cards, for example. You look at Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards, the peak value on that card was in like 1998 at $150 for the upper deck in raw mint condition. Yeah. Now what do those sell for? And if you look, you find a real clean raw mint looking one, you'd probably pay $40 for it.
That'd be really clean.
It'd have to be real clean. But yeah, you pay $40 for it. Back in 1998, when Griffey was at his peak value, that thing was selling for $150.
Yeah. So. And that's another good example of a player that can reach a peak value later in their career. Mark McGwire. In 1998, 1999 was his peak value.
Yeah, but that was like 98 was just one of those. That was just a crazy year.
But that's what I'm saying. It can happen. Like you can.
That card was $250 all day long.
Yeah.
And just raw, near mint to mint 8 condition.
Right. Yeah. Out of
people are paying $250 for it.
Yep, I remember I almost did.
Oh, thank God you didn't.
Thank God I didn't.
Yeah, now he's bitching about when he paid $11.
Yeah, seriously. It doesn't look like the picture it looked like on eBay. But that's another example of where a player can have another peak period in their career, but it's very rare. So now we saw what McGwire had to do to have that second peak period. now we have to look at, like, okay, is Aaron Judge, is Mike Trout, is Bryce Harper, are any of these guys going to have that? The odds are hugely against it.
Yeah, they may or may not. I mean, look at Frank Thomas. He peaked out and then slowly declined, and I mean, now the only really cards that people are dishing out big time for Thomas are the really rare 90s inserts. Other than that, his cards...
Or like a 10.
Yeah, I mean,
PSA 10.
I mean, you talk to a 12-year-old now and you talk about Frank Thomas, they have no idea that he was the Mike Trout of Major League Baseball for about 5 years. Yeah. Frank Thomas was Mike Trout for 5 seasons. People and 12-year-olds wouldn't even know who he is, and that was only one generation of players ago.
Every generation has a Mike Trout.
Well, every generation has multiple Mike Trouts.
Multiple Mike Trouts.
Yeah, I mean, you look back in the 90s, you had Ken Griffey Jr., you had Frank Thomas, you had Albert Bell, which a lot of people don't remember because the way his career ended.
Jeff Bagwell?
Nah, he was never that. I mean, he won an MVP, but he was never like a Frank Thomas or Albert Bell or a Ken Griffey Jr.
He was up there.
Yeah, I mean Barry Bonds. I mean, he had it in the '90s and the 2000s. That. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of players.
Jose Canseco.
That was the late '80s, early '90s. Another player that was huge for a while was Juan Gonzalez. Remember that year Juan Gonzalez had 102 RBIs by the All-Star break? Imagine that. People are like, oh, this guy's got 56 RBIs. And the All-Star game's, 2 weeks away or something now? Imagine.
That's nothing, man.
102 RBIs by the All-Star break. Wrap your head around that. And I bet you collectors 20 years old or younger now, majority of them don't really even realize how good Juan Gonzalez was when he was in his prime.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're rambling again. We're at 16 minutes already.
All right, we better get off this video. But anyways, if you're a baseball card junkie, hell, you enjoyed this, our rambling.
Or you thought it was a complete waste of time.
Either way, thanks for watching, guys.
Enjoy.
Happy collecting.